Hey, how's it going? So in this video, I wanted to talk about, I know it's a different kind of video that I usually do, but I wanted to talk about this recent client that we recently onboarded with what we do at the agency, essentially just partnering up with specifically experts who are kind of have a small or medium kind of size presence online, being able to kind of create their own online offer they want to sell and be able to teach others online. And obviously I went through all the benefits that kind of come with doing exactly that, but I want to talk specifically about this new client that I onboarded and how powerful my service and our partnership is actually going to be for him and his business specifically. I can kind of run you down exactly what he did before, but essentially they were kind of a business. This is not essentially what they do full time, so that's to keep in mind. That's to kind of show you that necessarily this wasn't, generating exactly the revenue they probably were looking for. And I want to show you exactly the way I'll be able to necessarily probably like 5x exactly what they're making right now, just from being able to transition online and leveraging their audience that they currently have and being able to create something known as an online offer to be able to help them with specifically making more, and also just reaching more people and overall just making more money, right? Because that's the real goal for them, and specifically impacting more people as well. That's a big goal for them as well. So I kind of want to talk about that specifically. So when it comes to them specifically, they do in-person activities and workshops, right? I'm not exactly going to go in depth on exactly what they do because it's just not relevant really. But to give you an idea what they do about, I think, 4 to 5 workshops. So it's in-person workshops where they regroup at say like 20, maybe 30 people that all pay, like, I'm not exactly sure how much, maybe between $50 and $150 per person to actually go to the event. So already there you can see it's not exactly scalable exactly if you only get like 20 people in and you do only a couple of these workshops. And the reason that is, yes, they do have trouble actually getting a lot of people to these workshops specifically, but also because people have to move, people have to get at this specific location, and because they do workshops everywhere, people are not necessarily going to be able to actually attend these specific workshops. So that was the first problem going in, the scalability of it. It's very hard to have a lot of people reach specifically in person. So that's the first thing I saw, and that's the first thing when we started working together. I saw that, okay, this is something we're actually going to be able to solve through something that's online. Obviously we all know when you go online, you're able to kind of create these things online, everybody can join it, right? It's the internet. So whether it's a workshop that is a lot of people interested, or it's very specific niche, still a lot of people, millions of people will be able to join that workshop. So that's kind of the difference that we saw at the beginning of working with each other. And essentially how the partnership started is that they actually reached out to me, saw exactly what I was doing and what my kind of help was with the whole partnership side of things when it comes to actually building one of these online offers. And essentially they kind of knew that essentially that's what they wanted to do when it comes to the actual online offer. They know how scalable it is. They know how you can just like kind of record it once and just manage in it and make money, and how much people you can reach and that kind of thing. So that's essentially what they wanted to do, and that's essentially why they came to me. And also a huge important thing is that they are actually experts in what they do. People come to their specific workshops because they're interested in learning exactly what they have been able to do, their specific techniques, how it's actually going to help them specifically in their lives. And one of the two is actually like a super pro athlete, and then the other one's actually someone who's actually broken records. So it's really 2 experts in their fields, and that's what's going to be super important in being able to scale this thing and be able to get really a lot of money for it. Just because these 2 are really experts, they're known in their brand, they're known exactly for what they do. So in that regard, it's way easier to promote something and be able to get people interested, just because they're really, really good at what they specifically do. But the problem that most people face when they're actually experts like these guys in their specific field is essentially just the attention, being able to get a lot of people specifically online to know about your brand, knew exactly what you do, how you can help them, that kind of thing. Because a lot of people are experts, and this is something I say a lot about my channel. A lot of people are experts, but they can't put themselves online. Nobody knows about them, so you're actually worth 0. But essentially, if you do start creating content, you start gaining an audience, and people actually are interested in you, that's where you can actually make the good money. So that's like essentially the first step. And what I was happy to realize is these guys actually had kind of an audience already. They had 100K on Instagram. Now, was this the most engaged specific audience ever? No, but this is really a good start for not only to create content, to get people interested, and you already know with that specific leverage audience, we can still make something happen when it comes to the online offer, right? And that's essentially what they knew. That's exactly why they reached out to me. We essentially just laid out a step-by-step plan, exactly what we're going to do, that I kind of do with my other clients. So to go back to the actual title of this video, how we'll actually be able to 5x this business's revenue, it's quite simple. because of their specific audience that they have ready. I know they're experts. I can easily be able to leverage that audience that they have right now. If not, obviously we know what to do exactly when it comes to content. Being super consistent with the content, being able to develop an actual content strategy, seeing exactly what works, what doesn't, is really going to be the key here to be able to get people attention, bring them in, obviously being able to convert them, so having the right conversion mechanisms, whether it's actually just capturing exactly their information, creating conversations with them. We're going to be able to really capture all the people that are coming in that are interested in that specific method. And I know because of their specific, what they do and how niche it is, it's going to work. People are going to be interested. People are going to be interested in learning from them just because they're really experts, and their specific workshops that they can do will help people on the health side of things. So if you know about anything on selling online, you know that health, wealth, and relationships are the things that sell the most, right? And them specifically, it's about health. So how to essentially better improve your life, better improve your health, that kind of thing. So it's going to be pretty easy, in my opinion. Obviously, it is going to require some work just because we're going to have to lay down the content. And then obviously when we go to the short form content, people are going to want to see more. So we're probably going to branch out to specifically YouTube and create these nice super long kind of video YouTubes and that kind of thing. So I know exactly what I have to do when it comes to the content and being marketing and being able to specifically get this offer to what it should be, right? And essentially 5x is business revenue, right? I mean, it doesn't have to be crazy numbers, obviously, because we know it's not necessarily going to be a high ticket offer. It's probably going to be around that mid ticket offer. So we're going to have to get a lot of people's attention on specifically this offer. So that's really going to have to do with the actual content side of things. So that's essentially what we have to do for now at the beginning steps to be able to get attention to this specific offer, and how I kind of plan to do exactly that. And obviously that is pretty easier said than done. You know, just kind of creating content and people are just magically going to buy this offer. But we do have certain strategies put in place, and we do have backup plans as well. If the content doesn't work, and we see obviously the content is kind of a long-term play and a long-term game as well. So we can mix that with specifically doing paid advertisement to get more people interested in this offer. There's a lot of things we can do. And that's essentially why I'm saying that I will be able to 5x this business's revenue, just because I know there's so many solutions, there's so many ways to get people interested in your specific online offer, and for the amount of people that are, you know, online, that kind of thing. And we already know some competitors that are exactly in his niche, which is pretty niche in itself, and that are crushing it. So it's just a question of like being able to see exactly what they're doing, being able to replicate it in a different market and that kind of thing. So I know exactly this is actually going to work. It's just a question of having the right strategy specifically for them to be able to get to those really good numbers. And essentially that's kind of why I wanted to make this video, just to kind of show you the opportunity of this specific client. And I'm sure we're going to get super good results, and I'll be able to show you that for sure. But it's just because like people are specifically doing in-person stuff and are really skilled about that specific thing, like these guys are, but they don't know they can actually just completely transfer online and probably just like 4 or 5x what they're currently making in person, right? It's completely possible. You just need the right systems and strategies, and essentially that's essentially what we're going to bring to that specific client. So when it comes to the actual content, being able to bring people inside his offer, playing the long-term play with him as well, and being able to kind of gain his personal brand as well, and the optimization for everything. So I know it's a mouthload, but that's essentially my plan, to be able to 4-5x him. And for you specifically, if you're kind of in a similar situation, you're really good at essentially what you do, but it's just a question of turning that and being able to present it to a lot of people online and make money that way, right? But yeah, super excited to work with them. They're the perfect example of being able to turn exactly what you know into something that's going to make you a lot of money specifically online, and without, you know, putting much time into it. You know, at the beginning, sure, it's a lot of time. Like, they've done the recording, it's took them, you know, multiple hours of filming and recording the whole process. Obviously they probably hired I know they hired a team, but essentially that's the hardest part, the figuring out that at the start, being able to exactly figure out your price, how you want to kind of position it, your offer, that kind of thing. But once that's done, I mean, it's just a question of being able to get more people attention to that specific page of yours, and that page will do all the selling for you, right? If you know anything about, you know, optimizing your specific profile to get your online offer sales, that kind of thing, you know that once you get people through your content, it's really just a game of waiting until they decide to click on your page and buy it, right? You don't have to necessarily do more. You just have to follow the necessary content planning, that kind of thing, and you'll be able to get people inside your offer. So it's really simple. He builds the offer, everything's put in place, the systems are put in place to convert people in. He just posts content, make sure to to gain people that through that way, and obviously we give him specific strategies for that as well. So he gets people inside, they go to this page, they get nurtured for who he is, how we can help you, that kind of thing. We probably will get your email and your name so we can get your contact information for people when they're interested, and then through that we'll be able to sell you. That's pretty much the whole process. We'll be able to sell people who are interested and exactly learning from them specifically. So that's kind of my plan for them specifically. They just have to post content and they will be able to 4 or 5x their business from doing in-person stuff to completely online, right? And yes, it's great, 4 or 5x the revenue, but they're also gonna have more time. Like I said, once it's built, you probably just have to do content, which depending on if you even edit the content, which they probably won't, probably will not take you a lot of time, and maybe, you know, be active and help people out, maybe a few hours a day for the people that are inside. But that's pretty much it. Compare that to doing in-person stuff like workshops or doing anything, and specifically in person, where you have to travel, we have to set it all up. Talk about the guy who's you know, kind of doing the venue. You have to talk to him, getting people inside, talking to people. It's multiple hours, that kind of thing. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of stress for a lot of people. So kind of being able to turn that completely online is going to be a huge relief, and it's going to make them more money. So that's exactly my plan. That's why I wanted to make this video. Let's just show you the possibilities of actually doing exactly this. And if you want to do exactly that, so either you have a small or medium kind of size online presence, and you want to be able to create something that specifically helps others online, I highly recommend you to check out my website below, and then you can book a call directly through there. You can watch the videos out, see exactly if you're qualified, and if we can help you with the whole A to Z process on exactly doing that specifically for you. So let me know if that's of interest. You can reach out to me below. Everything's down there. So that's kind of it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and super excited. I'll kind of show you and keep you guys tuned on the specific results we'll be able to get for it. So thanks for it.